Hi everybody, and welcome back to this is going to be video number 3, and as I promised on my last one, this is going to be what is classed as the most dangerous road in Great Britain. Claimed a lot of lives. You'll probably see a lot of bikes up and down. It's a nice day, it's a bit cold, about 4 degrees at the moment. A big shout out to everybody who's been watching my videos. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I'm not doing these to get subscriptions, or I'm just hoping it helps people if you're thinking of switching over from sports bikes to a cruiser bike, not necessarily a Harley Davidson. It could be anything, you know. It could be like the big Suzuki that I had, the Yamahas, the Kawasaki's, whatever. It's just because you know you've got to finish with a sports bike, don't think that your biking days are over. So a great big thank you to everybody who's been watching. And now what we're going to do, go onto this road. It's pretty early in the morning, so hopefully it won't be too full at the moment. Like I say, years ago we used to ride these roads, learnt these roads on small 2-stroke bikes, which was probably the best way to do it. Then as we all moved up to the big 4-strokes, you get to give it some. I'm not innocent. I am probably one of the reasons that these cameras are here now. There's average speed cameras. I'll show you those as we go through and what that does. Every time you go past one, it will take an image of your number plate, and if the next image it takes when you pass the next one, it works out your average speed. And if you've been even just 2 miles an hour over 50 miles an hour, the fine will be instantly in the post. So guys, if you're ready, then I'm ready. I know my Road King's ready. So here we go. What I'm going to do, I'm going to ride this road backwards to what other people usually ride it, and that is for the simple reason that if somebody happens to be on it, then I don't want to be on their line in a corner. Now with riding it backwards, you're probably going to think, oh, there's nothing to this road. You know, there's a few tight turns that we're just about to hit, and then it'll open out. Well, I'll show you further down just why this road is so dangerous. So, like I say guys, if you're ready, then I'm ready, and let's go on the A537 Cat and Fiddle. We're going from Buxton, which is a spa town which is down there, and we'll be heading to another town called Macclesfield, which is an old historic mill town. And hopefully not too many tourists at this time of the morning, so if I can get a free run and not get stuck behind a car, we should be okay. Here we go. First thing you'll notice is all the signs everywhere, and this is the first lot of average speed cameras. Now they're gonna check me, obviously. Now the first set of bends that we're coming to would normally be the last set of bends as you come the other way. And there was an incident, or quite a few incidences a couple of years ago, where people, I think, were so sick of bikes coming around here that somebody was spreading either grit, sand, rocks, everything in the road. So you've got to be careful. So here we go, this is the first set of bends as we come down. Change down into third, and you're probably best powering through it. I know the camera can't give you a proper view or a proper sensation of the angle that we're on, but I'm going to try, if I can, to keep my head level with the screen and see what we get. So here goes. Weird sense of riding, but there you go. Right, enough of that, I'll look an idiot. Well, as you can see, some of these bends, you go into them and they suddenly just tighten up on you, and it can, if you're going too fast, throw you straight into the other side of the road. And what I'm going to do at the end of this video, I'm going to post a link, hopefully, that shows a guy who got this road so wrong. Luckily he got away with no more than a scratch. His bike didn't. His bike just absolutely wrecked. But more about that when we get further down to where his accident happened. If you're ever thinking of coming up here, try and bring somebody with you, or always have a mobile phone with you, because you can be set up for this corner now. You just don't know. It's so indiscriminate. You could go around this blind bend now, and then there'd be a sheep in the middle of the road. You know, they just wander free. So you've got to be very, very careful. I will dispatch this car in a moment, officer. Now that's the last set of bends if you were coming the other way. So now it opens out. You've got your second average speed camera now, which is here. And this is where, coming the other way, you'd max your bike out. Now, the first thing about these speed cameras you've got to notice is you'll see a road bearing off to our left. When they first put these cameras in, they put the speed limit on this road at 50 miles an hour, but then the speed limit on that road was 60 miles an hour, but the cameras were set at 50, so you could actually ride within the law. I'm going to get rid of this car because I've got some sports bikes with me, so you could ride within the law and you could actually get fined. So now, as you can see, I've got another one. I came through that one at 40, so I'm okay. So I can slow it down a little bit. Like I say, in the old days, this is where you do all the turns down that way, and then you'd max your bike. I mean, really throttle to the stop and hammer it coming through here. Because there was a petrol station at the other end in Buxton, so you could always fill up. And I think that's one of the tips I'd give you. If ever you're coming to ride this road, come up with half a tank. Don't come with your full weight. I know I've got some, I don't know whether you can see it, I've got some lights behind me. Now whether those guys' number plates might have fell off, officer, I don't know. So as we're heading up now, still doing 50, obviously, some severe crosswinds at the moment because we are so high up. As you can see in the distance, hopefully, that is the Cat and Fiddle. That's where this road gets its name from. It's a guest house, it's a pub. Usually everybody meets on the car park. It's a car park of 1,000 stories if ever you sit there. Some of the bravado stories that people try and tell on there, and you can just, you know, there's not even a scratch on the knee sliders, but according to them they've done everything. So now as you come round here now, we shall start on some of the bends. I'll try and give you a panoramic view. And what you also have to watch out for here is sometimes people are on hang gliders. So you could come around these bends, and as you can feel the dip, there could be a hang glider just above your head, and that takes your attention away from some of these bends. And as you hammer around them, you know, you can all of a sudden it can only be 6 or 7 feet above your head, and that diverts your attention. Now, as you can see, there's no real runoffs. If you get this road wrong, you're through a stone wall and you're over the side, and it gets worse down here actually because the sides get steeper. So in we go, left-hander, and they want to throw you over the other side of the road because they're not a constant turn, and you've got to be so careful and so on it. You've got to concentrate like mad. And there is a video, like I've said, and I'm going to put you a link up, and hats off to the guy, I must admit. He made one of the bravest decisions I've ever seen. Okay, people can say, yeah, you're an idiot for going too fast, but sometimes these bends, like I say, you can just be doing 50 miles an hour and you could end up on the opposite side of the road. But what he did, it was one of those said bends. He came round, and I I have to say he was probably going a bit too fast. The bend threw him into an oncoming car. Now he made the decision, a split decision. He either had the choice to hit head on an innocent car driver or throw it off the side, and he chose to throw it off the side. And when you watch the video, it's unreal, because the camera's strapped to the bike and the bike's destroyed, but he just gets up and not a scratch. Incredible. He's so lucky, and I do take my hat off to him for making that decision. And this is the thing now, you know, I've got one of the lycra clad boys on my line. This is why I didn't want to be on the other side of the road. I've got another average speed camera that will be now here, so we've been okay coming down here because you're on a big cruiser, but hopefully you can get a scene of how this road has cost so many lives. Now, as I look down the valley, there can come a point, especially in autumn time, where you could come around this corner now, and because we're so high up, instantly it goes foggy because you've gone into the clouds. Luckily this morning, although it's freezing, not too bad. But you can just instantly come into here and you'll be in the clouds. The roads will have gone damp. Sometimes it can be icy up here when it's sunny down there. And you just got to know what you're doing. And if anybody wants to come up, do this road, brilliant. But don't treat it how we used to do. I think we got lucky, you know, never had an accident on here, so I just hope if you come up you appreciate the scenery as well. But it's got, you know, in the last few years it's got very, very touristy now. Hopefully you can see why. It's beautiful, it's absolutely a beautiful part of the country, but you really got to know what you're doing. And if you've got people who are touristing, obviously, or tourists should I say, and they suddenly find themselves on one of these bends that throws them on the other side of the road, you could end up hitting them. You know, you could be totally innocent, but this road claimed a lot of lives. The bike that they used to be up here was an R1. It was an unmarked police bike. I don't know what they use now because it's a long time since I've been up here. But it does get patrolled by police helicopters as well, and unmarked police cars. So please be careful if you come up here, but you know, enjoy the views, like, you know. The one bike that I was considering before I gave up sports bikes, I was going to trade my BMW in, and it's the one bike I wish I could have rode this road on without the cameras, is the Aprilia RSVR factory. That was the bike I was going to go for, if anything, but nature has decided that my skeleton should collapse, so now I'm sitting on a big armchair. But it does handle, you know. I'm happy with it. Well, I'm more than happy with it. People who've watched the other videos know. Another average speed camera now, so this is what you're up against, guys, if you're coming up here. Just be aware. Now we're all dry stone walls and everything. But as you can see, there's, well, I'm hoping you can see, there's all animals on the road. There is, not on the road, sorry, in the fields, but they do wander onto the road. You've got this bad junction here where people don't seem to see the give way sign half the time. And we start to come down the other side of the valley now. Some of those bends, I know from watching my bike racing that, you know, the TV cameras can't give you a sense of how steep some are. You know, there's a regular sight on these roads. some of the TV cameras can't give you an insight as to how steep these corners are and how steep some of the inclines are. You know, I'm particularly at the moment thinking of the corkscrew on the American Grand Prix, where they say you have to walk that to believe how steep it is. And it's the same with these corners. It's a very, very narrow road. If you've got to pick your line, hopefully be the right speed, because if you stray to the other side, 9 times out of 10 there's going to be a car on the other side. And now, as you can see, the cyclists, you just be so careful here. Also be aware that the weather can close in on you at any time. I think I said earlier, you know, you can just all of a sudden drop into fog. Well, you think it's fog, but it's actually a cloud base. Steep banks, steep gradients, the corners undulate, so sometimes your front end goes light, and by going light it pushes the front end out. It's been a very, very long time since I've been on this road. Very long time. I still remember it. But with it being so early in the morning, not too many people on it, and that's what I wanted to do, because it can get absolutely jammed. There's only a few more corners to go, but probably you guys are now thinking, well, that's pretty boring, but believe me, it's not. If you come up here on a bike, it's really going to test you, even at 50 miles an hour. Nice Ducati. And this is very, very near in the end now. I mean, even this early in the morning it's getting quite busy. I think everybody's cottoned on to the fact that if you want to ride the Cat and Fiddle, set your alarm clock early. It's very, very cold, probably 3-4 degrees, I don't know. Well, that should be now probably 2 more corners to go, and that is the end of the Cat and Fiddle. So hopefully, guys, you get a view of what that is. I'm going to start with these videos that I put up now. I'm just going to tag them as Road King Ride Out and then a number. So this one's going to be Road King Ride Out 3, and then 4, 5, obviously, when I get the time to do them. I'll apologise for the shaky camera footage on the first ones that I've done, but I've been using that Windows Live Media Edit because I'm not really that good with computers. And I've just bought some editing software, so if the pictures on this now are nice and clear, then I've got used to the editing software. If it's nice and shaky, then the editing software has been thrown out of the window because I'm not that good with computers. I've also just started a Twitter account if anybody wants to communicate via that, because I've always got my phone on me, not always got access to my computer, and I'm not one of those people who live on a computer. So if you're finding these videos interesting, thanks a lot, guys. You know, I've had some nice comments. I hope they help you out, because mine is not about owning a Harley Davidson. You know, I'm not that sort of plastic. I'm not that. It doesn't matter to me what bike anybody's got. It's just helping you if you feel that you want to move over to a cruiser. This is just my experiences, and there's nothing intended, there's nothing to say I'm better than you or you're better than me. It's just a matter of have yourself a cruiser bike if you want a cruiser bike, guys, and don't be ashamed of it. I've done the sports bikes, love my sports bikes, still do, but my health dictates that I've got to have one, and I think it was fate that pushed me to Harley Davidson. Like I say, I had the Suzuki first, that tried to kill me, and it was only that 240 rear section tyre that I loved, which has led me into a Harley Davidson showroom. Cost me a fortune, but there you go. So anyway, guys, that was the Cat and Fiddle, and hopefully I'll get to see you soon. Keep it safe, guys, keep it shiny side up, and please, I'll see you again. Bye.